Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope we always do. But before we get started, I got to say it. I'm just Raheem. I'm just a question asker. But I want to introduce you to my brothers from another mother, but we got the same father. This is Captain Leonard. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Yes, sir. Charles, good morning. How you doing this morning?
What's going on, bro? What's going on, y'all?
Hey, hey, doing good, doing good. I'm gonna start this thing off, man, and I want to ask y'all a question, man. And the question may sound a little simplistic, but I want to hear your heart. I want y'all to dig deep into this thing for me. And I want to say good morning to a couple of people. We got Lewis on, we got Mr. Davey on, we got Mr. or Miss Davey. I don't know who that is. We got Jay Cooks. Good morning to each and every one of you. And the phone lines are open. If you want to be a part of the conversation, please give us a call at 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to hear from you. Leonard, I muted your line, Charles. Got a little background noise, so I muted your line, so I try to come back to you. But Leonard, I need to ask you a question, brother. In your eyes, and everybody look at this thing and view this thing differently. In your eyes, Leonard, what is beautiful? If you say something is beautiful or someone is beautiful, what does that mean?
To me, it's just something I love to look at,
Mm-hmm.
or something that I feel is very pleasant, or makes me feel pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always. It could be a feeling too. It doesn't always have to be something I see. It could be
Mm-hmm.
something I hear. It's anything that's just pleasing to me.
Mm. Is there such thing and watch this, because I've heard, as a matter of fact, I've heard your favorite singer of all time say this: such a beautiful mess. What is a beautiful mess? You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm.
Well, it could just be things that are out of order,
Mm-hmm.
but they still beautiful. Everything. Like say for instance, if you fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how sometimes you get excited, you be having a good time, and you got stuff all over the boat.
Man, he hitting home base. You know what he talk about fishing. That's my thing. The way you're getting dirty this morning. You're getting dirty.
You know what I'm saying? A
Mhm.
beautiful mess. It's
Yes.
just that. Some
Mm-hmm.
messes can be beautiful. It's not all. I think it speaks more to not looking at everything as being bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking, um, just following up on some stuff, because it's so easy to get hooked on that dystopian view of the world. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
just going to be miserable, and you
Yeah.
know how some people are. Man, I choose not
Mm-hmm.
to look at the
Mm-hmm.
world that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only going to be that miserable if that's how your perspective,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how people will get themselves fixed. Like say, for instance, this thing where some people feel like you deserve to die if you're not vaccinated.
Mm. Wow.
That's a
Wow.
horrible, horrible way to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that people allow propaganda to change their character. That's what I have issue with. It's those doomsday people.
Mm.
It's the end of the world and blah. So what? What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. How you gonna change it?
Yeah, what you gonna do? It's been the
Mm-hmm.
end of the world forever. What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm.
It just don't make sense to fixate on such things. To me, it's definitely not. It can't be that healthy, can it? Mentally,
No. Mm-hmm.
everything's bad. Nothing's going to get better, and it's rotten.
Mm-hmm.
That's why my prayer is always that to give people some hope,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
because of
good.
that view of the world that people seem to want everybody else to believe. And then you got some people get an attitude when you don't think things are as bad as they think they are.
Yeah. Hey, the saying still holds true even to this day, man. Misery loves company.
You know
Misery
me,
ain't
I'm
never.
silly, man. I
Yeah.
look, I don't hold
Mm-hmm.
back on some people when it comes to,
Mm-hmm.
man, get out of my face, man. I'm trying to enjoy my Friday.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
You
Mhm. Oh, look.
know?
I don't know how many more of these I got left,
And
man.
then you wonder why you ain't got no friends. Cause you miserable as hell and don't nobody want to be around
Hey,
you.
hey.
That's why.
Let me go to Charles because Leonard's going to pull the stop out. Let me go to Charles. He's going to pull the stop out this morning. Charles, coming to you with the same question, and we got Badger with us, and we got Toya with the T on the phone line. We definitely want to get to them as well. But when somebody says something is beautiful, a person or a situation, or what does beautiful mean to you, Charles?
To me, man, if you're talking about, it's according to what the conversation is. A beautiful person, how they look, a beautiful person, how they act on the inside, how they act. A beautiful situation is, to me, something that the beholder, meaning me, because beauty is an eye of the beholder. If you're asking me, that I think that situation is going great. It's looking good for everybody to me. And I like when the question you asked about a beautiful mess, because if you piggybacking off what Leonard said, you look at this world is actually beautiful, man, if you really look at it. And it is a mess sometimes, and it is a beautiful mess.
Yes, it
is.
Know
what I'm saying? You can, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And for me, I think when you say beauty, man, you're looking at something that really either your eyes or your spirit likes it. Think that it's in a certain order that your eyes and your spirit agree with. You get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. If y'all get an opportunity, give us a call. We want to hear what is beautiful. What is beautiful? Toya with a T. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Toya, I gotta ask you the question. Beautiful. We're talking about beautiful this morning. And if somebody say, Toya, that is beautiful, or what you did just now was beautiful, what are they talking? Describe to me what you think beautiful is.
Well, beautiful has a lot to do with something good, something touching, something moving. You know what I mean? I got to go back about the world being a mess. We're not a mess. We the mess. The world still beautiful. We the problem. It's the humans walking around that give the world the bad rap. You know what I'm saying? Because if you just look outside, even on a rainy day, it's beautiful. But you know what it took for me to acknowledge that? Because Leonard has a point. He's talking about misery. But when you brought up in misery, you don't know anything else. That's why you got to be set free. Right? Because in this world, they have you miserable. Listen. You can't have sex before marriage. Oh, you better not be gay. Oh, you better not smoke, better not drink, better not curse, better not this, better not that, better not this. And then you got people that's raising you that's on a whole nother level. Oh, you got to be a racist. You can't have a black girlfriend, can't have a white girlfriend. Those are ways of misery that people teach us. And we get it twisted and we don't know anything. That's why when God comes, he got to set you free from that misery. Because no matter what, even if you're in this jail with lions, if you've done the right thing, sometimes the right thing can be a beautiful thing to do. Sometimes you can save the black person. But white people not going to feel that. So you're going to have to go through consequences. Even if it was a beautiful thing, God got to come through and set you free on some of these things that's misery that we think is a part of life because he didn't create this. You know what I'm saying? So you can have different versions of what that means, because it might be, and if you never came from a world of misery, then you won't understand how people can not think, you know what I'm saying, about anything else. It's because it's very easy, especially if that's how someone raised you. So beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But I think normally it's for those things that move you. It's love. It's, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice. It's, everything that has to do with good and beauty. They work hand in hand. You know what I mean? So 2 babies hugging. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
A black baby and a white baby. That's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The only person that's not going to see beauty in that is like what Leonard said, the miserable people. You understand what I'm saying? But it's because they're trapped. You know what I'm saying? Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. That's why I love the Lord, because some of these ways of the world, let's be 100, black people. Oh, you can't get a job. You can't be this. You can't do that. Yo, that's a miserable world. To live in, some of the ideologies they have for African American people, but God.
Come on, good deal.
You know what I mean? But God. So beauty is what we make it.
That's good. That's good. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning? Cassandra, coming to you next.
Cold, yet thankful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're asking the question, beautiful. What does beautiful? Somebody say that is beautiful, or what you did was beautiful, or it's a beautiful picture, or whatever, Badger. What does beautiful mean to you?
Well, which version are you asking about?
I'm putting it on the table, brother. You know how I do. Answer the question.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because there's beauty depending on the eye of the beholder, and
Mm-hmm.
then there's beauty based on society standards and or culture standards.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that word's very faceted because it depends on who you're asking, and where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to me, beauty is people being a community,
Mm-hmm.
working together, being everyone working toward the same goal of being the best they can be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Okay.
So
Okay. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
it's like this morning I wake up and there's snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's another form of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
My kids making art pieces or working on music and things like that. That's beautiful too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that's why I asked, in what context are you asking? Because
Mm-hmm.
the word beautiful itself can be used in many, many, many different ways.
Yeah. And see, and that's why I asked the question, what does it mean to you? Because to everybody it can mean something totally different. It can mean something to me, it can mean one thing, to Leonard it can mean something else, Cassandra or Toya or whoever it is, it could mean something totally different. So we all have our interpretation of what it is. And that's why I say, what does it mean to you? Because I'm asking you for your perspective. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
I'm asking a question about beautiful. Cassandra, what does it mean? If somebody says something is beautiful, Cassandra, that was beautiful what you did, or that's beautiful what you have on. Because Cassandra, you're a beautiful person. What does that mean?
Yeah, beauty for me is never about exterior. For me,
Mm,
that's just me. That's
mm-hmm,
how I feel about beautiful. Because I have met some of the most uh, physically beautiful people that you ever want to meet. Meet them on set all the time. Beautiful people to look at. But some of the nastiest attitudes and that you ever want to meet.
mm-hmm,
And it's like, I don't care how pretty you are or beautiful on the outside. If your inside is ugly, you are
mm-hmm.
ugly.
Yeah, yeah,
You are ugly to me.
absolutely,
So to
absolutely.
me, it's always about a person's spirit, who they
Mm-hmm,
are, what they do, how they treat people around them. That's beautiful to me.
mm-hmm,
But as far as that outer appearance, and I just don't. It just no. It's not about outer appearance for me.
mm-hmm.
It's about a person's heart.
Exactly.
That's why the scripture, and I'm gonna end with this. That's why the scripture says, "Man looks at the outward appearance,
Mm-hmm.
but God looks at the heart." And that's what I try to see in people. I want to see your heart. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about what you look like on the outside.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? She could be drop dead gorgeous, but if she got a terrible attitude and just a nasty person, is she beautiful, Leonard?
Yeah, she's still beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She's still beautiful. She might be
Mm-hmm.
just a beautiful mess. I know a lot
Okay.
of women. I know a lot of. That's one thing. I'll take it another step further.
Mm-hmm.
From being married so long, it's not like beautiful women stop existing.
Yeah.
So you get to appreciate it differently. And like you just said, you have some people that are absolutely beautiful on the outside. They're just not in the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to tell one friend of mine, you're great for me to put on the wall or stand in the corner for me to look at occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's that type of beauty right there. As long as you don't say nothing, we good. Just stand there and be beautiful, and things will be fine. And then they open up their mouth, and some of the horrible
Lord.
come out.
When they open up that mouth,
it's almost like the voice don't go with the face. That's the difference to me. That's kind of how it is to me when I run up on that. But to each his own. But usually, I mean, I guess some people, if you're in the field, especially like Miss Cassandra, you may meet very beautiful people acting, and you know how you all do the thing you all do. And there's a lot of facades going on, and people really work at being visually pleasing. But when you try to know them, you realize that's okay. I'd rather not.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. I just rather not.
Keep that
I'm just gonna look at it and just that's it. That's it. I won't talk to it. None of that.
Exactly. Toya, what do you say about that, Toya? If the person is just on the surface, beautiful, drop dead, just beautiful, gorgeous, but then they say something to you, and you realize this is a nasty individual right here. Is your perception of them differently?
I mean, of course, common sense. That's it's common. Most bad things. Talk about these words again. Most bad things are going to be a lot of the things that we correlate, with beautiful. But I kind of understand where that's coming from, because we talking about beauty from the eyes or beauty from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Because, like Leonard said, hey, you can be a handsome man with great credit, great personality, do everything you're supposed to, and be a dumb, just an idiot, just dumber than a box of rocks. No, he ain't even that damn cute no more. Oh, excuse me. He ain't even that cute no more. He's an idiot. I told him it was chilly outside. He went and grabbed a bowl. What? You know what I'm saying? So again, it depends on, that perception of what, beautiful is. And, some people come from a world, let's flip this, right? Some people come from a world, let's take them slave masters. You know what I'm saying? Let's take the dad stepping in and say, no, take me instead of the kids. We know that's a beautiful act. But did they care? No, because of the savage lifestyle that they came from. You know what I'm saying? They know demons know what beauty is.
Yeah.
Demons know that. You understand what I'm saying? But just because the person said it's not, then it's not. And that's the strange part, because demons try to come after you very young. A demon will come and be like, yeah, you so fine, and you ain't thinking about nothing else but being fine, and you're gonna grow up and be a daggone idiot. Or whatever it is.
A beautiful
may
fool.
have the other people focusing on. You need to get somebody that's soft on the eye. And me too. Listen, I'm not picky. I go by the heart. But what you ain't finna be doing is having cock eyes and chipped teeth. Now that part right there, it is beautiful. But I don't want that.
Now hold on, Toya. Let me ask you something, Toya.
It's all gonna be beautiful.
Toya, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Toya. Because I heard you say that about 8 times now. What's up with you and chipped teeth?
I don't know. I can't catch it. Hey, I don't care how beautiful you is. Cock eyes and chipped teeth is the 2 things that I cannot. Oh, and bad doggone breath. No. There's a certain thing. No matter how beautiful you are, no matter how intelligent you are, everybody has their thing. So you can be beautiful, but your thing might be feet.
Yeah.
Okay, you beautiful from head to ankle. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna see your feet. But if that's your thing, like, nah, I can't do nobody with no bunion toes and Christmas trees on top of toes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just your thing. It doesn't take away the fact that they're still not gorgeous, but their feet ain't. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes to what your perception is. Some people might feel like it's beautiful. Some people might not. Some people might look over it. Some people will. But it's up to the individual, because, like I said, we all know what true beauty is, but just because your mouth moves and say that it's not, or just because your mouth moves and say that it is, it doesn't mean that that's necessarily what it is. But hey, like you say, it's in the eyes of the beholder. But just be real. Don't be holding no coal in your eye.
Wow, God is a good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Hey, doing good, doing good. God, as we're talking about beautiful, beautiful. What does beautiful really mean? What is beautiful? If somebody say, God, that's a beautiful shirt you have on, or God, what you did yesterday, that was beautiful what you did yesterday, or God, that you're just a beautiful person, or what have you. What does beautiful mean?
Okay, when I was 20, it was one thing, but now that I'm 53, it means something different.
Mm-hmm.
Complete spirit. It's a total spirit that you walk in. Um, your heart is pure. Um, you're kind. You're gentle. Uh, some people don't have to be kind and gentle, but they have a beautiful spirit. They helpful for others. They do things that are, for the community. Or they're helpful. And you don't even
Mm-hmm.
have to be for the community, but it could be just helpful to others that need assistance. To me, that's beauty from within. Beauty from
Mm-hmm.
within shines through their spiritual value, and it's an aura. It's an aura that shines.
Mm-hmm.
My personal perception of what beauty is. It's that aura you feel that positive frequency around them. That's what beauty to me is.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let me go to the phone line. Toussaint, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Hey, hey, good morning.
Toussaint, I need to hear your perspective, brother. I need to hear your perspective on this beautiful thing, man. What is beautiful, man? What exactly does it mean?
When you look at a baby's shoes,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I know where you're going, brother. Lord Jesus. I know where you're going. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay.
You gonna go there? Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, beauty. I heard it said, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder,
Mm-hmm.
but it's heartfelt. It's heartfelt, and then it kind of looks beyond the outer appearance.
Mm-hmm.
It has to,
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen some good-looking people that were ugly to the core.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about everything about them: the arrogance, the pride, the selfishness, the way they treat people, the way they talk. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about them. That's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at them and say, my gracious. And then another thing, you look at a person that not so pleasant to the whatever you call it,
Mm-hmm.
but their heart is, and it don't have to be um displeasing to the eye. They
Mm-hmm.
can just be a fair looking person, just average,
Mm-hmm.
not these gorgeous model type people.
Yes.
They just a good looking person.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, the way they carry themselves make them more beautiful than you can ever imagine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Takes them over the
Because they
top.
got the full pack.
Yeah.
They got the full package.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's
I'm
good.
talking about everything that you really would desire in a person. And throw this out here and I'm saying, look at snow.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said this. Ooh, that's so pretty, but it's destructive.
Mm-hmm.
It'll tear up a highway, cause millions to suffer.
Yes, sir.
But that's the most beautiful scenery. If you just look at it, look at a mountain full of snow, but you make the wrong noise, you got an avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different layers to what that beauty.
Yeah, that's good. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Cassandra?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was trying to come off of mute. No, I mean everyone has said, the right things. I think, um, yeah, a person, um, their their physical can be pretty, and that won't ever change. But I don't know, when their inside is ugly, to me it just takes away from the physical.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense,
It does.
it's just like something just takes away from, for me. And I was married to two gorgeous, I mean, gorgeous men. I don't even know what happened. I don't know why they picked me, but they were just amazing looking. And their reasons that they told me that they chose me out of all these pretty women that they dated was because of my spirit. And I I appreciate that, but I could never understand, like, dang, y'all had these like drop dead gorgeous women, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all chose me. I'm average. I'm just average, you know. But it was something that went beyond the physical, and even I'll go as far as saying it was spiritual.
Yes.
How we ended up, coming together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing. I think that's I think, to me, I think that's a much better connection. I think that's a much better connection when it happens that way, from not necessarily the physical, but on the spiritual realm of it. Badger, what do you say? What's on your heart?
I mean, it's just I agree with a lot of what's being said. You know, because in my viewpoints, it's how deep do you want to go? You know,
Let's go.
like if
Let's
it's
go all the way in.
just face if it's just a face value of the uh, terminology I'm looking for. If it's just at face value, you know, beauty can be very simple, very just plain Jane. When you start, or at least in my opinion, when it starts coming from a deeper place of like, it's calling something beautiful because it touches you in the by spirit, you know, in your heart. It's to me a different level or a different facet of beauty based on the person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. Anybody else have anything to say about this? Because I got another topic I want to jump to real quick. Anybody else have anything on their heart? Artists.
Look at
Go ahead, Tucson.
no, look at how we were talking about something. I'm not trying. I know humbleness is a beauty
Mm-hmm.
because you look at people. We were talking about it yesterday. That intercede or get themselves in the way to help somebody else. That's a beauty that the world needs. That's all I
Mm-hmm.
want to say about it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's it.
Leonard, can you hear us, Leonard?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. What's on your heart, brother?
Nothing. I'm just listening. I'm like, when something is beautiful to me, the moment it
Mm-hmm.
strikes me as beautiful, I'm no longer looking to try to make it worse.
Mm.
If it's beautiful, it's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't looking for nothing else. What I'm looking for, I'm looking for a reason to say it's not beautiful.
Mm. Sometimes that is the case, and a lot of people do that, man. They like to
Like
try
my
to look,
mother used to
try to
say,
find
you
some kind
just
of flaw.
looking for something to complain about.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Goddess, let me ask you this question. What, Goddess, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Goddess, this gang activity that's going on in and around our community and communities around the world is getting way out of control. There's people joining gangs for all kind of different reasons. But what do you think? What do you think the real reason is why a person would join a gang, knowing the history of it and the disruptive nature that it can have on certain communities? Why do you think people still are joining gangs?
Oh, right now, I think people are joining gangs uh, as a perception of no fathers within the household. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, no black men, strong direction. Number
Mm-hmm.
2. And then with both of those intact, then you have those that are in neighborhoods that are forced to join them. And then absolute fact of looking for love, and we call it the wrong type of love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you see a lot of that within different communities. And what I mean looking for the wrong type of love, oh, this is my brother, you think this is your homeboy, and really he's not. He's really using you. He's wanting you to fall for him and take cases for him and do certain things, and but that a true man or a true homeboy won't put you in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these women are joining gangs. They dating gang members, and basically instead of trying to change the men out of that lifestyle, they're getting changed into that lifestyle, and basically joining them and going to prison for them.
Wow.
Well, I met a homegirl the other day. I didn't know we grew up together. And she was like, yeah, I ended up going away. I had totally forgot all about her. She was like, yeah, I went away and went to jail for my dude. I was like, you what? Like,
Mm.
I couldn't even comprehend that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like some people will do certain things, and, I ain't going to jail for nobody unless it's for myself or maybe my child. Depends on to a certain.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Tucson, what do you say that? Why do you think people are still joining these gangs, man, at a rapid rate right now, man? People are joining gangs right and left. Why do you think it is, Tucson?
We live in a violent society.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I guess people are looking to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're not accepted by who's in the house or just the environment they live in. But it's kind of like sagging pants, or when we were wearing high heel shoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trend. It seems like it. I don't know. I mean, we used to hang out in groups, but we didn't call it a gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing about it is they have, unfortunately, a violent family environment. They look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
They go down for each other. And it's just the way that people are. These days, they want to be accepted by somebody, anybody. It don't make no difference. And they're willing to risk their lives.
Wow.
And then another thing about that is they see the possibility of a financial gain.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have to break in somebody's house that you know that they're selling drugs, and you go knock them in the head or kill them because you know they got a roll of money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just initiation. I mean, you talk about, here's a person just want to be accepted. And for the initiation, they have no clue of a person walking down the street. But in order to be a part of it, they just kill them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I don't understand it, but it happens every day.
Exactly. Sad as it is. Cassandra, what do you say to that? Being out there, being in the community, in the community as you are, why do you think most people join those gangs?
Yeah, I think, I don't remember who said it, but it is a lot of times for acceptance, protection. It's several reasons. I know I joined because I wanted to feel a part of, and I joined at 11. I was the youngest gang member they ever brought in my hometown, and it was all about wanting to feel accepted. I wanted to feel like family, like I had family. I mean, I had family, but I was treated so badly that I wanted to be with people that accepted me and, made me feel like they love me, even though that's not it. It is the farthest thing from it. But I believe today a lot of these kids are doing it because of acceptance and also because of protection. Your gang protects you. People don't mess with you or bully you because they know you're a part of that particular gang. So, and we have so much of it. I just saw on the news, I'll end with this, a few minutes before I came on, they were talking about the rise in gang membership around Metro Atlanta, and that there's a particular school that it is rampant. Gang membership is rampant, and that the kids are going for it. They're going in, and they're fighting, committing crimes, all kinds of things, just to be a part of these groups.
Wow. And a lot of times they don't even see the cancer that's involved in it. A lot of times they don't even see it or recognize it. Toya, what do you say to that? Why do you think the kids, the young folks, and you out there in the community, you be out there with them, so you have firsthand conversation and communication with them. Why are they joining these gangs, Toya?
Well, there's quite a few reasons, circumstances. But first of all, Cassandra just said it. Just listen to what she just said. She just told you why I'm going to do it and do it. So they treat us so badly where they at. They need to feel a part of something. See, that's if we pay attention, we got quite a few gangs. We got military, we got police, we got people, whoever put up. That's a gang. You know what I'm saying? But the most important part that I see about these kids is that we didn't teach them nothing. We think they're just supposed to know. We having babies that come out of our womb and we thinking that they just know stuff. You ain't never, ever in your life set the standard. It's kind of like with animals. I hate to compare the two, but we're like training animals to an extent, except for animals can't rationalize. What are you doing? You telling them something, but what are you doing? You're keeping them up all night. Kids know innately in their heart things ain't right. And why would not join the gang if they the only ones that want me? She just said
wow.
The problem.
Wow.
I think the key word was treated so badly. So if you're being treated badly, you're definitely not being taught the right thing. And if you are being taught the right thing, no, you don't be in no gang, but you still could be abusive, right? And still could feel like you think you know what you're doing as a parent. And no, you ain't gonna be in no gang, and now you're gonna come be abusive again. Now you're gonna cause another thing. They could be defiant, because the fact of the matter is, let's not be funny. Some gangs rule this world. Don't demonize it because it's in black communities now. Let's talk about the KKK. Don't play with me. So don't come over here now in 20-something-ish, after all you savages that went around and destroyed stuff. Now we come in our little communities. We ain't got no way to express nothing. We ain't got no relief. We're taking that on our kids. And now our kids acting out because we special. And now the kids are special. Now they doing gangs, doing all this little stuff. Oh, now all of a sudden you such old gang. No, come on to jokes with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because we got sorority. Or every gang got this name. Military, they make you push the limits and do things you never would normally do to be a part of a gang. So don't again come demonize it now, but it's in black communities. Come on with the jokes. Let's talk about the why. And we know why. Because they're being mistreated, they're being abused, and they're not being abused, and they're not being taught the standard. Like your crew, like these kids in this school. Why isn't the principal? I can't fathom having no younger person than me run me, bro. I don't care what gang you in. Let's square up then. What's good? Oh, you ain't came out busting a little something? Well, let me go ahead and put you on the game because I'm a real G. Don't sleep. You understand what I'm saying? I just can't fathom it. But these people, these little humans, are coming into contact with other adults who still ain't checked them and put them in their place, man. Because they scared of them. Still off balance.
Exactly.
But she just answered the question on why these people ain't no people. It's not people joining gangs. It's young kids joining these gangs because they want to feel wanted and they're being abused.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, and that's powerful. But are we losing them? And how are we losing them at such a high rate? Because we're losing. They're joining these gangs, and nobody's really stepping up. and telling them nobody's stepping up, Leonard, at all, and telling them not to join a gang. And this is what it is. Nobody's. I can't see anybody doing that. So why?
I'm assuming you asking me.
Yes.
Oh man, it's a great way to get involved with a criminal network.
Wow.
It's a great way to get involved with people like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. All this notion about something negative, no. It's just people that just want to belong to that type of environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, it's not uncommon at all. But I know I didn't have no desire to be around those types of people. You know, to me, if you ask, it's not. There's people usually that can't exist by themselves. So they must have someone with them. They must be connected to a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if that group of people is doing what they like and they fit in, and that's what they enjoy doing.
Wow.
You know, I'm not bent on trying to get people to see a certain point of view. I don't see it as sometimes, you know, the reason why people join gangs. I like what Toya said about it. What's the big deal? If you look at the law today, the law is always talking about gang violence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To justify doing whatever they want to do to people. So why you just can't go get people doing wrong and arrest them instead of trying to criminalize for people for wearing the same T-shirt, same hat? So you have to be careful with that thing. And all this, like, they just lost kids. Look, no, not the cats I know that was in gangs. They were just criminally minded individuals, and they wanted friends to commit crime with. It's a network with the black market.
Were they good? Were they good people? As a whole,
in some aspects, yes, they were.
Mm.
Yes, they were in some aspects. But the thing about it is, they got it how they lived it. They didn't care nothing about going to work. They didn't care nothing about doing what you like doing every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna sell dope. They're gonna get what they want. They're gonna have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do whatever what every other gang has done. They do what they want to do, and the reason why they're in a group to do it is like for defense, for protection, all types of things. The same reason why people join them organizations that Toya mentioned.
Wow, like police organizations, fraternities, and sororities, and
you wanted to be a part of a group doing things that you admire.
Okay. Rico, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, congratulations on receiving and welcome to a beautiful new day of life, man. I can't complain how everybody doing.
Hey, doing good. Congratulations to you as well, man. This is Black Conversations, man. And I want to hear, give me some of the realness, man. Why do you think people join them gangs?
Well, for the main reason that most human beings get up and get motivated to and inspired to do things every day, reward. The biggest problem is that they lack the guidance on how to find out how to get rewarded properly. And so when you lack guidance and don't have an example, the most logical, I almost say the most rewarding influence will have an opportunity to access you. So if you get some type of pleasure, or if you get some type of reward from a negative way that somebody showed you how to get it because you've been doing without this time, sooner or later you're going to feel like, okay, it's okay to do it this way. This must be the route that I should take. And some people will show you the rewards of being in a gang. They'll convince you because you didn't have anybody that came before you to show you any other type of difference or different way to get a reward. That's the reason why guidance is so important. That's the reason why it's so important for people to lead by example. That's the reason why it's so important to have a village, so you can have positive men that believe in excellence, that can step in when young men and women don't have a good example of a father, because young boys and young girls can be misdirected or misguided if the wrong person comes to them at the wrong time to influence them or teach them the way that they can get to whatever goal or reward or just whatever it is they want, whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and just think about it. if you didn't really have guidance, you wouldn't know good from bad. I can remember when I was young, my stepdad, he ran a grocery store, and I really didn't understand the concept of economics at 4 years old, 3 years old, as a matter of fact. And when we used to go to this store, I would walk around, and if I saw a piece of candy in the wrong box, I thought it was okay for me to put that candy in my pocket. I'd be stealing from his store. And they try to teach me, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So then they opened up another grocery store, and he started managing it, and he'd take me to work with him. And I would walk around, man, and I'd bite the apples and eat the grapes immediately. Whenever I felt like I was hungry, and I saw it, and I was a fruit fanatic, I would get that fruit because that was the reward that I wanted. But I didn't know the difference between the fact that I couldn't bite that apple and put it back. People were coming to buy that apple, so he had to come and tell me, son, I got to sell this. Sell. And sooner or later, more and more I started learning the buying and selling mindset and economics. I realized, okay, that's why he stopped taking me to work, because I kept going around eating the produce and putting the fruit back. People picking up fruit want to look at the good fruit and they got a bite mark. So I had to learn. You can't take that.
The profits.
It's still so. But if you're told that it's okay to do that, just get what you want. You see it, take it. You want it. Somebody had to break that. If you're not careful, gang members will tell you how to do that and not get caught. And now you're being rewarded. Thank you for showing me how to do that. Now I ain't hungry no more.
Wow, that's good. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I know when I was trying to figure out which way to approach what I'm hearing. What question were you wanting people to answer?
Well, we're talking about gangs, and why do you think people actually are a part of gangs? Why do they join gangs? Why do they affiliate themselves with gangs?
I mean, some of them are just looking for a family because they don't have one at home. Some of them are in it because they feel like that's the only way to make money. So like there's a lot of different reasons that, some of the people I know got involved in that kind of stuff because, to them making bad money was easier than making real money or good money. I mean, so it abusive homes, misdirections, if you push someone to think that, they're just bad people over and over and over again, in my opinion, they're going to end up thinking that way. So it's just, I guess, a matter of perspective at some point.
Wow, that's good. Public citizen, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. Like Rico said, it's good to be alive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, okay. So I was a teenager in the 80s. So gangs were a real problem back then. And my little town, kind of a suburb of LA, and a lot of white gangs back then, and Latino gangs. So, and then once I got older, went to college, graduated, and everything. My first real job was doing long-term substitute teaching in juvenile hall. So I met a lot of gang members over the years. I did that job for a few years, and it's a mixed bag. Kind of how Leonard was saying. Some of those guys are hardcore savages. They'll kill you as soon as they look at you. But that's not all of them. Some of them are good people, but they just made wrong decisions along the way. The thing is, like, those kids are lacking something. Something's not there in their lives, like a mentor. Like Rico was saying, in the grocery store, you need somebody to teach you stuff, and some people don't have that. And the community needs to step up and offer guidance to those kids, because they need somebody guiding their way. So my experience with gangs is, you know, seems a lot worse now, especially with the guns. You know, the proliferation of guns.
Mm-hmm.
When it was, you know, like back in the '60s when there was gangs, you know, people fist fights and stuff like that. That's bad, but it's not like, you know, you can come back from getting beat up, but
yeah.
bullets are not very forgiving. So
Mm-hmm.
I think a big part of the problem is there's just so many guns in the world, and the gun manufacturers are profiting off of, you know, our blood, and you know, and the Republicans are like, well, Second Amendment, we can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I support the Second Amendment, but there needs to be no right is absolute. So I don't know. The gang thing is very sad. Something that I've heard about kids that are in trouble, that I think is really important is the kids who are hardest to love are the ones who need it the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we talk about gang members, that's kind of like the guiding principle.
Wow, that's good.
And just to add to what he said, Raheem, Georgia just also passed a law to give you to carry a gun without a permit.
Yes.
So you don't
Sure
even need well, it's in the Senate. It passed the Senate, of course, because the Senate is basically Republican. And so those Republicans went in and put this legislation that now, to make it possible to get a gun, and you don't even need a permit.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the president, my partner, for New Order National Human Rights Organization, who is traveled to Montgomery, Alabama today to do a press conference related to the rise in gun violence in that city. And the mayor's focus on handling that particular violence. That'll be at the Capitol in Alabama today at 2:30.
Wow. At 2:30?
Yeah.
It'd also help if the government wouldn't let guns come across borders.
Mm-hmm. Now, are the screaming at Leonard?
I'm pretty sure there will be. We'll put it on our webpage because he usually tapes his own things. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the news will pick it up because it is an actual press conference.
Okay.
And things like that. So it'll be on local media, and we'll put it up on probably Facebook and things like that after the fact.
Okay, good deal. Cassandra, does gangs automatically mean bad? Because sometimes when people get in their mind is when you say gang, they think it's something negative. They think, does it always mean bad, Cassandra?
Well, no, I mean, I guess, I don't know. No, just no. I don't think all of them are bad. I know that the group that I was in, we did quite a bit of fighting, and usually it was about East Side against West Side, something stupid. And we would meet up. That was the first time I ever saw somebody killed, and that was when these guys were starting to use guns. And one of the guys from our side got shot, and I literally watched him drop to the ground, pee on himself, and die right in front of me. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think, Raheem, one of the biggest.
It's not pretty.
Exactly.
One of the biggest things we have to remember about gangs is, like I was saying before, it's a group of criminals. Let's not try to candy coat it at all. It's a group of criminals.
What if it's a police gang?
That's not a gang because, one, it's legal. That's what separates gangs from those police groups and all that. It's because, one, the gang is focused. The objective is criminal activity. That's how you make your money.
But there are police gangs out there, though. The police have gangs inside.
Police who are in gangs.
Yeah,
but the law enforcement agency wouldn't be, quote, a gang. Because, one, you have officers who are police participating in gang activity, which is criminal behavior. So it's not the police force that, quote, is the gang. We say it because it sounds great, but that's the difference. Criminal activity. The objective of law enforcement is not to go around committing criminal acts. They're supposed to be stopping crime.
I like what you say when you say they're supposed to be, because it doesn't always line up the way that
that
I love
don't
the
stop
police is
them from
supposed to
being
be.
in gangs, working
Yeah,
with gangs.
yeah.
You get some good work done in the community with some gangs now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes gang members provide you with information that no one else can get.
Yeah.
So yes, it is a group. It's criminal. It's criminal activity. That is what is similar with most gangs. Criminal activity is the main source of income for the gang.
See, now Robin Hood say he stole from the rich and gave it to the poor, but you know, is that a good thing? Is it still considered because
It's
he's
still a gang?
Yeah,
because him and his partners were robbing people.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and that's my point. But you know, and certain individuals, gang activity, they every year during Thanksgiving they give out turkey, they give out Christmas gifts in the community and stuff like that. They do some good in the community. So Rico, what do you say to that, man? Is because it's gang, is it all bad?
Well, it depends on if you want to go off of European propaganda and why they when and how they use the word gang. There's a thing going on down here now in Alabama with the Brookside Police Department. They've been getting criticized by other police departments and the state agency because they were making money through the jail or prison system or whatever by ticketing people. They started harassing people. I'm trying to think of the name they call it, but it's some type of pay. I'm gonna pull it up in a minute and send it to you.
Okay.
But the sheriff was involved. His assistant was involved, man, and now they're getting sued by a lot of people. The feds might be coming in. They're acting like a gang. This is like the 4th or 5th police department in Alabama that has been, I'm gonna say, called out for having gang activity or acting like a gang, even if they didn't call themselves a gang in secret. You know, it was funny that Public Citizen called in, and he's from LA. They have been exposed for having secret gangs in the police department for years.
Yep.
Then, you know, we can still go back and just sort of addressing the question that you asked. It can be good because if you go back and look up the history of the bias laws before the gun violence, I'm gonna say, well, right after the gun violence started and the black community started trying to do something about it, the bias laws tried to unite every gang in Chicago, and they actually succeeded. Fred Hampton, same thing with the they weren't the Black Panthers. They called themselves oh man, I can't remember. It's another gang they call themselves. But they were positive. They started doing things in the community, like the Black Panthers in Philadelphia. People started doing things in the community. So then I looked at another documentary because I was trying to find out the origins of the Bloods and the Crips, and I found out that most of those Crip organizers that started it off at first were children of Black Panthers that had gone to prison. So as young men, they saw the meeting and the organization to get things done in that community, but they didn't have the structure. They didn't have the preamble. It's a whole lot of things, the Constitution. So they created their own constitutions loosely. And then the media got hold of it and said, well, you know what, COINTELPRO didn't break up this Black Panther thing again because them little N-word babies still got it in their blood.
Yeah.
And so the minute the N-word babies, otherwise known as Crips, started fighting back and they killed a policeman, then the media put it out there. Because, see, people were tired of the police. The Chinese were tired of the police. The Hispanics in LA were tired of the police because white people were doing everybody that wasn't white wrong out there at that time. Even though California was a place to go for many people, you still had their issues that they went through. So everybody was against the police. So when the minute the Crips started looking like, we got somebody that could fight these crooked pigs back, they ran with that mentality, that demeanor. And the news put it out there more and more. Oh, they come over to Beverly Hills and they'll shoot you. They'll come to LA downtown. They're bringing the gang violence from the neighborhood. They're violent, and sooner or later, people are like, yeah, we Crips. Yeah, we'll kill you. Yeah, we ain't scared of them pigs. They took that reputation and ran with it because before then, the police seemed so unstoppable. They were the legal gang. They couldn't nobody do anything with it. And finally, the Crips came back and said, well, we finally got somebody. But they got distracted and they fell for the propaganda. So now when you think about gangs, it's hard to associate them with police that still have that fraternal order behind them and that mindset to stick to the same exact codes and don't stand up against other cops when they're doing wrong, but they'll participate.
Wow, good deal. Public citizen, what's on your heart, brother? Toya with a T, come to you next.
Okay. Let's see here. I was writing some notes. I got distracted. Let's see. So yeah, I was trying to kind of respond to what Rico was saying about the organizational factor of gangs, and you can work together, and that it could be good. But my problem with people having a code, like I read that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Neely Fuller's work. He writes about white supremacy, and he says he wrote this compulsory anti-racist code and all this stuff, and I think that's really good to have a code, but the problem is if you're following another person's code, it's easy to manipulate people. So that's why I always say write your own code. You don't follow someone else's code. I mean, you can follow other people's principles, but about the police back then, the police were a gang. They really, the LAPD were known to be, I've talked to people who were brutalized by them, and I think they've reformed somewhat. You don't hear about police brutality to the same level that it was back in the 80s and the 90s and 70s and stuff. But there definitely are white supremacist gangs in the police department. Orange County, California is famous for that. LA County Sheriff, they have matching tattoos, and they do illegal activities. So that we got to address that. Like, why is there racism allowed to flourish in police departments? How do we address that? I mean, you can't just like put on have some anti-racist expert come in and talk to all these cops, and now all of a sudden they're not going to be racist anymore. That's not going to work. You got to do something that actually works, because as we know, police departments do treat different communities differently. But so I don't know. Gangs. That's one thing. The police gangs are a separate issue.
Told you with a T. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, the thing is, we're trying to come up with solutions that we're never going to be able to achieve, because we got to keep in mind the Creator put us here with a truth. So everything we're talking about right now was also something that we cast upon Him. And if He couldn't do it, we should know, we as little pesky little humans, that this is just conversation. Ain't no plan we're going to come up with to make nobody not be racist. You can't take racism out of somebody. It could be a choice.
Exactly.
I have to choose to deal with the stories that I hear with Caucasian people. Everything that I have to go through on a daily basis that somebody else might not believe because you don't go through it, but I went through it and I experienced it. It's mighty funny when I go through with white people. It's mighty funny when I go through with black people. It's mighty funny when I go through Latinos. I mean, everybody got a thing with us black folks. So every day, while you talking about what it ain't and what this, that, third, I got to live with and choose not react the way I feel about everything we're talking about. But this is something that man does. And until these people are set free, because this is what the problem is, a superiority issue, you can feel like you're a God a little bit, because in a minute, like a little bit you are, but what kind of God are you? Stealing, killing, and destroying. So you have to choose to not want to be that way anymore. And that is the only thing that is going to change all these topics and situations that we're talking about. even about gangs and young kids. We all been young, but what happened? We had to choose as kids. No, I don't want to do that, or no, I do want to do that. And it's as simple as a choice for y'all, for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna enter one or not? You know what I'm saying? But it got to be in the heart of man, and we can't come up with no plan to make these people not be racist. Their hearts have to be changed from the inside, and they have to choose to not to continue to carry on those things of this world.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good. That's good. Let me go to our Goddess. Goddess, what's on your heart, sis?
You know, everybody is really on point. You know, Toya spoke some real life things about all the different entities out here regarding gangs.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading the other day about the Black Boule because I like the word boule. You know, so I'm the re-edition of the Black Boule, but the negative connotation of the Black Boule were the gatekeepers. They were all about themselves and keeping the Black community, you know, the lower. That's what it was supposed to be, the lower class down, and that's what I did not like about it. But I like the fact that they have two different terms. They got the Black Boule there that want to unite each other of those that are doing like things, likewise things, and also help bringing up the community. To me, that would be the new what the Black Boule is about to me, and should be the upper echelon, Black excellence. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be around others that are like yourselves. But when you go back to the gang violence, you know, we're fighting that situation right here in Kansas City, Missouri, in the 18th and Vine district, because you know that the culture, the our culture, and the heritage and the history of that area was so positive. You know, Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners, and not only Black business owners, but Black property owners. And that's what we needed. I mean, that's what we had back then. But now it's a clash because we're going around. We got the new Black young guys that really don't have the respect. They fighting is gun violence, you know, and we're about jazz and blues in that area, but trying to explain to the others that are, you know, want to cater to the young crowd, like, how do we mix that? How do we stop that? You know? So that's what we're battling right now, because we understand that, you know, they need a outlet place, and this is the only place, but this can't be. You can't come here. So my point of view is, let's do some Black exclusivity. You know what I'm saying? And it don't have to be just Black, but we need some exclusivity. Like in New York, and I'm gonna tell you, in New York, you go to some of them clubs, you standing in line, and they pick who they want to come in their club.
Yeah, good.
They don't play that. And when they ask me, I say, "How you gonna do yours?" Mine is gonna be Black exclusivity. Period.
Good deal.
So I don't know if I'm running with the Black Boule name or the Black exclusivity, but I'm gonna pick who I want, because I don't want no more gunfire. I don't want no gunfire and play in mine.
Good deal. 3 minutes since we got to move it on. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
I even though I was a part of a gang and we did fight, we weren't like criminal. Now the guys did a whole lot more than the girls did. So we basically were like, we would just fight the girl from whatever side, from West Side or whoever we were fighting with. But I never, well, I fought, so I guess that's criminal. That was about the extent of my criminal activity when we would fight. So, but I was never a bad person, and the girls that were a part of our gang, I didn't feel like they were criminals. We were young people that held on to each other because we had crazy stuff going on at home, and we made each other feel apart, feel like we belong. And that's what I think all of us were looking for. And, you know, I just want to say that I don't feel like we were criminal. We fought. The guy who committed crimes, the guys from our group, our gang, committed crimes, but we really didn't. The women, the girls, whatever, we didn't. But I never felt like we were just a criminal entity that came together to wreak havoc. I didn't. That's not that. Well, I'll put it like this. That's not who we were.
Okay.
You know.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, you know, I'm just listening like everybody, you know, is telling their perspective or what have you. But there is like I said, we have to always remember, don't buy into the hype. And the reason why African-American communities have so many problems with this is because they will not tell the truth.
Wow.
This whole thing about color somehow determines your character. And that you're going to win people because of the color of their skin. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because that is not the cause of the problem.
And what is the cause?
The cause of the problem is low moral values.
How do we get here? How do we get there?
It's
how do we get there?
First of all, in church, instead of church holding the line, what church do? Conform to the world. See, a lot of things have conformed to the world, and that is just pretty much take whatever you can, get whatever you want, think about you, and don't care about nothing else.
So is it? Are you saying that this pretty much is a me generation?
Well, it's not this whole labeling of a generation. No, it's not a generation. It's character. You can't. I don't care how black a person is. If they are freaking criminal, they are criminal. You're not going to appeal to them because they black.
So again, I asked the question: do you think all people in gangs are all people in gangs are criminal? And I'm painting with a real big brush when I ask that question.
No, it's the people who commit criminal behavior that are criminal.
Okay.
So one, you got people in gangs that may have not gotten to the point, or it may not have been required of them to commit a criminal act. But usually they all have records, and a lot of them have been in and out of jail, and that's how they live their life. It's a lifestyle. So you can choose to live that way. Or I know people that just, let's say, for instance, the credit info. I want to bring up the word infiltration. The police departments have long been infiltrated by the KKK, that gang. So why would you think that it wouldn't be infiltrated by every other gang? And the reason why is because who's supposed to be protecting you from crime? Because if I'm gonna sell my dope, I got to pay the guy that's watching the corner. That's the police. They're the only one here to stop me. So it makes sense to infiltrate the police. You got to make the deal with them. That's the gang. That's the gang lifestyle. It's, you know, people talk to, well, you know, gangs are good. I would buy the neighborhood turkeys too if they bought all my dope. You
So they don't pay for it.
So
they don't pay for the
thing
turkeys.
about good and what? No, I'm not sure about that. But I know I got to do what I got to do to keep my enterprise and my business going. So I'm going to, just like all these politicians and everybody else, I'm going to do a little good over here. Then I'm going to do this over here.
Do the dirt on the other side. Exactly.
So it's the duality of people to do these types of things. We need to move it away from this color perspective. And you people who think that color is the message to criminals, you're lost.
Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Tucson,
I was looking for my mute button.
I got you.
What I was thinking about is anything you start, there's always an imitator.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at this, for instance, Bloods and Crips, and then some little boy and his friends decide that that's what they say they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now the real Bloods and Crips don't know nothing about it, but they trying to function as if they tough guys on the block.
Mm-hmm.
We had some. I mean, just thought they were. They just decided one day they're gonna wake up. Oh, we gonna be Bloods and Crips too.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just go around doing stuff. So I don't know. Somebody said something about, I call them what we see as undesirables. People that just like to fight, or they always getting in trouble. And nobody really has a solution or acceptance policy or program or procedures to say, hey, come here. I'm with you. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do something for you. I'm going to do. So what other alternative do they have? Because you see them as a bad kid.
Mm-hmm.
You just rotten to the core. You're just useless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get out of my house. And they just 12.
Wow.
Or 8.
Mm-hmm. What do they turn?
And here's this little boy or little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And all she knows, because something has happened in her life, that all she knows is how to, give it up.
Mm-hmm.
And because she's like that's because something has happened in her life. Her parent, mother, grandmother, whoever it is that she's affiliated with, if they're not hanging out in the street all night long, puts them out.
Mm-hmm.
So here they are looking for somewhere or somebody to accept them somewhere. They go to the church and we look at them, our nose at them. We so stuck on ourselves. We don't want to be bothered with them because they're too tough.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, they're just like Peter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Peter will fight too.
Sure will.
But we want these people that just,
Yes.
hey, praise the Lord, hallelujah, bless
Mm-hmm.
the Lord, oh my soul, and all this benefits toward me. But if somebody is not like us, we don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever alternative they have to reach out to somebody that will accept them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
My 3 minutes up.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Oh, hold on, Leonard, you wanted to say something?
Sorry, because I had heard a little break in what when Donald was speaking, but
Mm-hmm.
Kim, he said he made a comment about church.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all all gone to just rotten churches?
No.
Okay, because the church I went to, this was a big thing at our church, was ministering and bringing people in from the community that were lost or that
Mm-hmm.
needed a family and things like that. So we had a church full of kids a lot of times, and they were from different types of homes and all those different types of things. But one place they could come where they were treated all the same and people loved them was our church.
Mm-hmm.
And I was under the impression that that's what y'all do at y'all churches.
Well, like I can say this right here, man. Not all churches are the same. Not all churches are the same. You got some. I've been to some wonderful, amazing churches that do that and community and all that. But I've been to some churches, man. Nah, not so much, bro. Not so much.
Because if you're going to a church that does not have a youth and outreach ministry, either you need to start one or go find another church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because one of
Exactly.
the issues was pulling kids away from, and what happened is, one, you talk about why kids this is because kids don't want discipline.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put it on them.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the things that they came is because they knew, okay, here's the people that meet at a certain time. They expect you to dress a certain way and speak a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you mold and shape children. You don't let them do whatever they want to do. You don't let them make up the rules.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And that's that discipline that's really liking. That's that discipline that's really liking. Let me go to our public citizen. Rico, coming to you next.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead, Batch.
Like you came to me, but Leonard started talking.
He stepped over you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Just fine. I understand where it's coming from. You know, where I grew up, there wasn't really any good churches, so like it was down to the parents to actually do anything because most of the churches in the area I grew up were run by racist people or hateful people. So that's one of the reasons why I've brought up, the church thing so much is I know more people, way more people that have had bad experiences than I have met people that's gone to good churches. So it's and as far as the gang stuff goes, I remember growing up being around some Crips and Bloods, and this is years ago. They had certain rules they'd follow. They wouldn't, yeah, they did drugs and stuff, sold drugs and stuff like that, but they wouldn't do it to pregnant women. They wouldn't sell it to kids. Anyone found selling it to kids were usually beat up and put at the police department's front door. Like they did bad things, but they also implemented some kind of moral code. Versus the people of today who they honestly could care less if you're selling drugs to a 2-year-old. So I know there used to be some honor in the streets. Nowadays, it's whoever can shoot the other first. So the honor and morals of certain things have literally gone out the door. And
wow.
And just looking at that aspect, and then you look at society as a whole and all the illusions and misdirections, that is being broadcasted and people pick up and believe, or and things of that nature. Everything from should I be a hateful person because of the lies that were told to me, or someone else, should they be hateful because of things of that nature. So it's a matter of not only where you've grown up, but it's also, did you have the privilege to grow up in a good area?
Wow. The privilege. That's good. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I thought you were going to hit public citizen first.
Oh, yeah, I did say public citizen. What's on your heart, brother?
Okay, I wanted to say something obvious first. Like, an obvious thing that I think needs to be stated is all people, we're all looking for a sense of identity one way or another, right? Whether it's like race, religion, what music you like, and all these different things. We're always going to do that, and that can be a problem because we tend to put ourselves in little groups and then think we have to agree with everyone in our little group, and that's then you stop thinking. So that's one of the problems with gangs and religion in a lot of ways. I'm not opposed to religion, as a concept. I'm just opposed to the way I see it implemented a lot of times. I think it does a lot of harm in some cases. But that applies to gangs too. And I said earlier, I was a gang associate in the 80s, and the gang I associated with was ethnically mixed, mostly white girls. And like I said, back then, white gangs were a big thing, so it was definitely not a racial thing. And as Badger said, the more money, it's economics, right? If you come from a more background with more money, you can get yourself out of trouble. You can hire a better lawyer. etc. And a lot of those kids, I know a kid that was a hardcore gang member in the 80s, and he was violent, white guy, did all kinds of bad stuff, and now this dude is a multi-millionaire. Okay, he lives in a castle, and it's disgusting, to see, like, this is part of the white privilege thing, is that, that guy had a little bit more money, so now, he was able to build a business and all that. So, gang, it's a universal, it's a universal thing. Let's see, I want to say one more thing. Oh, I wanted to push back on what Leonard said about, parents need to, like, set up the code. I agree, they do need to set up the code, but like, what made me, become friends with gangsters in the 80s was because my parents were so authoritarian and, were, like, super strict and treated me like a little kid. Now here I'm like a teenager and they're treating me like a little kid, and they didn't give me room to grow. So I had to turn to this other group of people who actually respected me, These other kids who were in gangs respected me more than my own family. So, that's why I think you have, when it comes to, like, setting up a code for children and stuff, well, are they responding to it? Because if they're not, maybe try a different code.
Exactly.
What's funny to me is that a lot of people, and this is working with children in that development piece, children are very encourageable. So one, there became a chance, they started pumping these kids up to believing that, one, they had a right to say certain things and do certain things. Well, you don't. You don't. And this never should have been introduced. This never should have became mainstream, where children believe that they have a right to run your house. No, you don't want to go to bed when you told to go to bed. You don't want to come inside when you told to come inside. You don't want to do nothing that resembles discipline. So then you get out there thinking that you got it going great. Well, no. Well, now you just became prey for somebody else. So whether you do it in your house or you do it out, you can't go out there and do what you want, because what? Bigger fish gonna come check you.
Yeah.
See, your parents would. Most parents ain't trying to kill their kids.
That's right.
Turn the news off. Most parents are not trying to kill their children. They're trying to keep them safe and keep them out of trouble.
Absolutely. Let me go down. I think Rico, are you with us? I think Rico had to step away for a second. In the meantime, let's go to Toya with a T. Toya, what's on your heart, sis? Toya?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you go. What's on your heart, sis? Talk to me. This gang thing, man, it could be a terrible thing, man. It really can be a terrible thing. But I think that if we as parents or grown folks come together, I think we might be able to make a difference. I say might. What do you say?
No, might. We can. God gave us dominion over that. And the same way we made this doggone mess, we can get out of it. Ain't no might about it. That's why we can't get past it. Because we're talking about a might. That's what we said. That's what we declare. That is what's going to be. And the only thing we have to do then is do it. You understand what I'm saying? Again, we got to take that dominion back. That's nieces and nephews that you have. And if you're the one that get it and you're the auntie, you need to take dominion. I'm not scared to take dominion over my whole family. Say, hey, listen. All that y'all got going on, be breeding little criminals. No, we not finna do that no more. And I'm going to come check you. I don't care how old you are, how young you are. If you want up with this bloodline, I'm coming to correct it. We're not going to do this no more. And if you come into contact with me, I'm on a train a lot of nights. I deal with a lot of the guys on the trains, off the trains, and they all get the same thing. Whether you looking like a drug dealer, a gang dealer, or a homeless man, you're going to get the business. If you come over here and mess with me, I'm always going to be the dominant authority. And that's what we need to proclaim back as the adults in this world, as the ones who have set these perceptions, and now they've taken it and run with it. So while we was pity-pattying, thinking that our activities when we was younger didn't mean nothing, this is them times 10. So now we got to go back and correct it. The only thing we can do is go back and fix it before we leave here. If not, it's going to be left up to them to fix it. And again, at some point, somebody somewhere is going to have to hold up and say, enough is enough. This is a fight that we fight truly all the time, but we really don't, because it starts first and foremost at home.
That's right.
But we definitely can change this, and we definitely can shift the momentum another way. But we cannot allow the world to continue to be the idols of our children.
Exactly.
The proponents of these games, listen, mama working all day, daddy don't want to fight to be home with the baby he just made. They should be fighting to be together, but they're not. But okay, mama at home going crazy because she don't want to deal with that part and forgetting about you. Now daddy don't want to do his part. Now here you is. Now you getting taught by television. There's some more adults coming in, because we as adults, don't we know that television programming, radio programming help influence the kids? But we still feeding into it. Again, all of us. And then some of us sit on the outside. Oh, yeah, well, I don't have anything to do with their child being a murderer. But you own more stock in most of the most atrocious activities that lead to the influence of our kids in a negative direction. But you ain't had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So this thing that we got right here is like a virus.
Yeah.
But we got to do it we got to work from within. We got to stop in our tracks, grab our young ones, and put him back on track, because right now it's going to continue to grow out of control until somebody stop it, and it needs to be us.
Wow, that's good. That's good. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Again, 508-924-3521. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, it's a good bit, man. A lot to touch on, man. First off, I like what Dawn said about people getting involved in something, but then all of a sudden people that join later on come in and they start having different ideas, and before you know it, the organization end up turning to something that the original people don't even recognize anymore. I like how he showed how that happens, because that really is what happens a lot of times. The leaders of the organization will either get disenfranchised from it, separated somehow, or and incarcerated. So it sort of goes back to what I was saying about the bastards of the party, that documentary in the beginning of the Crips. They had enough logic to create a constitution. That means they had some structure and organization. And it refers me back to what Goddess was saying about being exclusive. I don't really want to say exclusive, but I would say more of setting a standard of acceptance. Because if you exclude people, then people will start excluding you based off of their own personal opinions or reasonings, and it can turn bad. Once again, like what Dawn said, you got new people come in and they get momentum, and before you know it, it turns into a totally different direction, and they start getting uppity. Right now, our upper echelon and Black Boule isn't looked upon positively where it should have been. But you still have to set a standard of acceptance and not exclusivity. So when you set that standard, then people will start trying to meet that standard.
Yes.
So now, I look at that end of it, and then I think about the fact that, children have to have the proper tools, and that most of the time they don't have the tools to do what they need to do to survive properly. The reason why they join gangs. Some of them might join it for protection. Some of them do have mothers and fathers at home. But my generation came up in the era of these people called latchkey children. The latchkey children that had to not only deal with the parents that was going to the clubs on the weekend, but these same parents was working second shift and third shift during the week. Some parents, look, I went months and sometimes a year or so not seeing my mom but a few hours a day because she worked third shift. So when I got home, she had second shift with us. She was still trying to get us sleep or whatever, and then she had to go in and go to work. And so, that was one thing during the week. But then on the weekend, Friday night and Saturday night, I had HBO After Dark. So much influence, so many different things. So like Toya said, you're getting all these tools, and those latchkey children were exposed to all these different negative things. So we picked up Colors. We picked up Scarface and Tony Montana. And we came to school at 8 years old talking about all the cocaine that he had, and he just buried his face in it. Something we should have been talking about at 8 years old. We talked about our parents' porn stash. We had too much. I'm going to say we were too vulnerable to other influence. And our parents didn't have didn't spend the quality time to influence us and give us the proper tools and to learn these standards. And so now here it is, you know, you look at what happened with the Black Panther Party and the Crips. Their parents were taken away intentionally through COINTELPRO and left them to still sort of know what it looked like, but not exactly know where it came from and what it really stood for, the true standard. So I go along with what Public Citizen said, man. It's been very hard for me to just actually want to join in on any organization, because anytime you join in on somebody else's organization or structure, you have to sort of conform to this solidarity and loyalty thing that comes with being like, which with Masons, think about it, Masons, police, but they have to take an oath and swear to loyalty. But at the same time, they are swearing to something when it comes to gangs, there's something negative, potentially negative. So, you know, the guy from Nike, he joined the gang, turned it around. Now he's very successful. Doesn't look like anybody that would have been a gang. And you got so many more people, cops, judges, and Judge Mathis. So many people that went that direction because they were lacking direction. Same direction. Exactly. They went in it because they lacked it. And that goes back to that guidance I spoke of earlier.
Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart? God is coming to you next. Cassandra?
Yeah, I want to just say this. The people that were a part of gangs back in the day in my hood, actually the leader of the females, her brother was the biggest drug dealer in South Carolina at the time. Our leader was, her brother was the biggest drug dealer. What ended up happening, her house got raided. Her mother had a heart attack during the raid and died. Her brother ended up, he was out there for several years. There was a federal indictment against him, and come to find out, the police chief in the town had been working with him. The police chief committed suicide after the story broke, was coming out, and then he went to prison for life.
Wow.
He just died, I think, a couple of years ago. So I'm not glorifying, what was going on in my neighborhood. I wish that it was different, but I still say that my reason and the girls that were a part of the gang, it was like 13 of us, 14 at some point, but we were together because we needed each other. We felt like we needed each other. And how I ended up getting out of the gang, and this separated me from ever being a part of anything like that ever again, is that my initiation at 15, I was in the gang from 11 to 15. Everything was good. At 15, I was the only virgin. I was the youngest. I was the only virgin. The initiation was for me to have sex with somebody. That was the setup. You're not going to get pregnant. This is your first time. Stop being stupid. I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant and I decided that I wanted to get out of that gang, they made me fight two of the toughest girls in the gang in order to get out. That was my turning point for gangs, because I realized y'all don't give a damn about me, because here I am with a baby or from an initiation, and now I got to fight y'all to get out of the game. But I did it. I got out, and I was never a part again.
Watch this. Cassandra, do not answer this question. Do not answer this question, okay? What set you represent? What set? What set you with? God is. What's on your heart? And Toy, you want the tea coming to you next?
Well,
You're freezing on me. You're freezing on me, God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Your picture is pixelated, but that's okay. We can still hear you. Go ahead, say what's on your heart.
I think it's a son.
Okay.
I grew up in a 2-parent household where I had great parents. But I was one of them girls that I used to braid hair and like quick money, good money. You want to call her? And I ended up marrying California and marrying one of the biggest. I didn't even know nothing about Crips. I never heard of them. Never knew nothing about it coming from Kansas. Never knew nothing about gangs. Didn't realize
Hey, we
the
get guys.
gang member people.
Guys, we got to come back to you, sister. You skip it. You skip it every other word. We got to come back to you. I think it might be the area that you're in right now. So we gonna come back. Yeah, we're gonna come back to you, but I do want to say this here to you. I've heard this song "Blame It on the Rain." I heard that song. I ain't never heard the song "Blame It on the Sun" though. I ain't never heard that song. Told you, she said, I'm gonna blame it on the sun. Lord, my Jesus. Told you with a T. What's on your heart?
Yeah, you know, I was listening to a couple of conversations, and what struck my mind was everybody on this station, on this channel right now, is a part of one of the most powerful things in the world, America. And we see them commit crimes right in front of our faces. They rob us with taxes. The injustices that they do, the things they make you do to be a part of this place. And we can talk and say what we want to, but best believe when this gang get ready to rise up another country that keep and protect what we got going on over here, we not mad about it. And now we experiencing it in other many little forms. I mean, it's easy to want to be that leader type, but this is a gang America on the whole global scale, and we are one of the leaders. That's why we keep it safe. We're the biggest bullies. We're the biggest finaglers. Some of the biggest producers of some of the most foolish things, along with a couple of other countries that are gangs as well. And we're cool with that. You know what I mean? So it's. I've always been a person to sit back and reflect, even my own wrongdoings. I have no problem admitting my own wrongs and what I do it and what may be my reason. But the fact of the matter is, because ultimately it comes up to that's what I want to do. And God had to break that down to me one day. That all your circumstances could be right. And if you feel like you want to be a gang member or a gang leader or a gang starter, that's what you're going to do.
Thank you,
You're going to do what you're going to do, regardless of the circumstances. Stop looking for excuses. And oftentimes we can sit back and not think about how we are a part of the biggest and one of the biggest gangs in the world.
Exactly.
But then when other little things start to happen in the United States that are just like what we do, you know, it's like, we don't know where it comes from, but this is how we know that this is humanity. This is what we do. This is the traits of us and who we are. And we can get it right. You know, we conform to the government that America has had with slavery. Right? But you don't want to operate, you don't want to join the gang to operate, to be tricked up under somebody else's rule and law. But we all know that America rule and laws is a trick right in our faces. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the different dimensions of what we're talking about with this gang thing. When you point the finger, 3 is pointing back at you. That's exactly what it is for everybody in America that speaks about gang activity and behavior until it becomes America's turn to be the biggest gangster.
Exactly. Wow. That's good. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? That's good. Tucson, you there?
No, I was just thinking about the fact that sometimes we say, well, it ain't me, or I don't have anything to do with it, or that's not what we're doing, and I'm not including anybody in the conversation. But I'm just saying that, take for instance, you say that the gangs are a bad thing. I don't think the original intentions were bad. You just got the wrong people with the wrong influence in it, manipulating the common cause. Because I'm just me thinking now, we see that, for instance, police violence and somebody says, okay, in this neighborhood, we're not going to tolerate this. So we're going to get you, and you. We know how you operate. We're going to roll together and protect our neighborhood from that type of thing. Now, when you really think about it, that's a good thing.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because you got some people that, because of their mentality, nobody want to have anything to do with them. And so that's a good thing, because you can't go, and I'm not talking about all of the churches. If that particular, their one church out of 50 is not doing that, you're just scratching the surface. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
You're just scratching the surface. It's kind of like, for the most part, or most of the entities, churches, help facilities, whatever you want to say, for the most part, are they breaking the plane? Are they doing something on a smaller or a greater? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm kind of lost for words, because what we do is say, well, it ain't me. Well, you're affected. You're still affected.
Exactly.
Whether you want to be or not.
Well, y'all, we reached that time in the broadcast. Today is Friday, so y'all know we got something that we do on Fridays now. What would you do if? So we're ready to kick this thing off. That we got a few minutes before we get out of here, a little more than 30 minutes. So we're gonna jump on this right here. Ask a few questions. We're gonna swing around and give everybody the opportunity to ask different people the questions. I'm gonna start off with Toya with a T. Toya, you there? Toya?
I am.
Okay. Toya, I'm gonna ask you a question. We're not gonna throw no names and stuff like that out there, but I'm gonna ask you this. If somebody watch this, okay? If somebody stole some money from you, they stole some money from you, and you two was happened to be at a function together, and you saw them get up and walk away from a table, and as they was walking away,
Okay, say that again.
Okay, if somebody stole some money from you, and you know that they stole it, and about a month later, you two happen to be at a function together, y'all at a function together, and you see them get up from the table, and as they're walking back toward the bathroom, they drop a wad of money on the floor, and they keep going. You walk over there and you pick it up, and it's quite a bit of money. Now you know that it's bill time for them to pay their bills and everything. What would you do?
Well, I know they stole money. Now they dropped money, and now you need to see if I'm trying to steal it because they stole.
No, they dropped it.
I'm not gonna keep your money.
Huh?
I'm not gonna keep your money. If I know that you dropped it, I'm not gonna keep your money. Now, if ain't nobody around, I don't know who dropped it. I pick it up, then oh well. But I'm not gonna see a person drop money and not give it to them. I don't care if I do know they're a thief.
Yeah.
But when I see you steal some money, I'm telling on you.
No. Now this person stole your money, and you know they stole your money about a month and a half ago. And now you see them.
Well, I'm not gonna. No, I'm not gonna keep their money. I don't want nothing to do with them. I need God to fix them. 5 years ago, I would have, but I'm scared of karma now. I don't want that kind of energy.
That's good.
I don't want that kind of energy. Keep that money. I'm not gonna do that. You can have that. Matter of fact, that's the only way you're gonna get it, by stealing it from me. So you go ahead and you hold that down. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you some more because I'm super petty when it comes to stuff like that. You understand me? God's not gonna bless me like that. And if you feel like you have to steal from me, because I'm that type, hell, I'm gonna work with you. I'll work a couple of extra hours for you. What you mean? Hi for Latoya. So, if you're gonna steal from me, then I'm gonna let you have that. I'm gonna tell probably, hey, go pick that money up off the floor. They dropped their money.
Good deal. Toya, who you gonna pick? Who you gonna actually? What would you do if? What would you do if? Who you going for today? Toya?
Let's go for
on the phone line. Let me tell you who all you got. on the phone line. You have Toussaint on the phone line. Cassandra should be calling back in just a second or two. You have Toussaint on the phone line. Friday just called in. Rico is here. Goddess is here. Leonard and Badger.
Okay, and then I got to ask the question too.
Yeah, you got to ask them.
Are we going on the same question?
No. You got to ask your own question. What would you do if?
Okay, so let me pick Donald.
Okay, Toussaint, are you there? Toussaint, you there?
Yeah.
No, look, don't be scared now. Don't be scared now. Toya got a question. She want to
I'm bracing myself.
She want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Toya?
Yeah. So Donald, if you on your way to the store late at night, you say, "Hey, I'm gonna go run and get me some of this," and on your way to the store, you see a child get abducted and their parent get hurt in the process. What are you gonna do?
Abducted in the process, and the parent get hurt. I'll have to call ambulance for the parent, and then if I can catch up with the vehicle, because I like fast cars, and I probably got one. And I'll probably have to risk myself and run that car off the road, hoping that I won't hurt the child in the process.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, that's what I would try to do because of what we've been talking about. We need people to stand in the gap for things that hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. That's what I would do. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's good. Toussaint, you get to pick somebody, brother, and ask them the question.
Rico.
Uh-oh. Yeah, boy. I don't know what this is gonna be right here. Rico, you ready?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm waiting on it.
Toussaint want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Toussaint?
Rico, if you was all alone in a secluded place and all of a sudden you heard Rico. Rico Jackson.
The whole name.
What would you do if you assumed that was the Lord calling?
Well, first I'm gonna look around to see if I was mistaken about me being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, I thought I was alone. Let me see. I heard something. Where's that coming from? And then if I don't see anything, I won't be nervous. This won't be the first time that I talk to him. Something higher than me, If you would have said, what if it was your grandfather? I still wouldn't have been nervous because my grandfather did walk past me and touch me on my head before he made his last pass through the house. So I wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been worried because I do believe in something way bigger than us, me and you anyway. So I just received it, Now, if he was saying, Rico, it's your time to go. Depending on what he was saying after Rico, then I might have a different response. Man, come on, please, I ain't ready yet. So, it depends, but I wouldn't be too afraid based on what I saw when I looked around. But if I looked around and saw somebody bad, ready to do something bad, then that would be another response too.
That's good. Rico, who you got?
Man, is Cassandra still on? I was gonna say something light, man. I had something serious and I had something light. And then Toya came with that serious question. And I was like, man, I could do the same thing, man. And it was right along that area. Is Cassandra on the line?
No. Hopefully she's gonna call back in a minute or two. I think she's calling back in, but she's not here right now.
Okay. I sort of wanted to hear Gotti's story too, man. But I'm gonna ask Leonard this question. I want to see how he responds to this one because I know this happens a lot.
Leonard, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Rico has a question. Actually, he want to ask you, what would you do if? Rico,
what would you do if you were driving along one night, minding your own business, just in a good mood, not a care in the world? Policeman pull you over, and you still in a good mood, not a care in the world because ain't nothing wrong. Then all of a sudden he asks you to search your car. You still allow it because you know you ain't got nothing to worry about, and you ready to go, and you ain't trying to argue. Then all of a sudden when he searched that car, he come out with a bag of something dirty and try to pin something on you, because I've had this happen to me before. And I responded sort of immaturely. So what would you do if you were in that situation where you knew somebody was trying to actually pull you over and plant something on you, and you were in one of those, just happened to be in one of those towns that you didn't know that they were about that?
Well, first of all, I don't submit to searches. But I mean, I don't submit to searches. We can go to jail if you would like, but I don't submit to searches. And it's going to always be an issue where you're going to have to use your authority to do what you need to do. So him asking you is a legal matter. He can do it anyway. So I'm going to let him do it anyway, but I'm not going to give consent.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Who you pick?
You still got that bag though. Now you still got that bag he found that you know good and well that ain't your little bag.
We can talk about that down at the courthouse.
Okay. So you're gonna go to court and let everything play itself out in court, but you're not gonna be no confrontation or anything at that moment on the streets.
If he don't make one, no.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that.
Because you don't, and I say that because one, you don't have to submit to anything. Just like Rico said. That's the whole point. You lose your legal ground if you give consent. So don't start off wrong, because police don't have good intentions. So why would you submit?
So basically, you tell. I want to be clear on this. I want to be clear for my listeners as well. If you don't consent, you say, well, if you're gonna search my car, you're gonna search my car anyway. That's what you're gonna do. But I don't consent. Now,
no, I'm not saying all that. He gonna ask me, can I search your vehicle? And I'm going to say no.
Yeah. Okay.
We're not talking about nothing.
Okay. But legally, how does that play itself out in the court though? When you say, well, he says mine is not mine, and I didn't even consent for him. Do you have any legal grounds along that?
Well, that's why you want to go to court, because if it's not yours and you don't know how it got there, there's going to be some evidence that says he put it there. Because you have to think about it. Why did he want to search in the first place? You don't have to get your consent. He can get probable cause. I smelled it. And if you ain't got nothing to do with it, you ain't got nothing to do with it. You should always take your chance with the right thing. Don't criminalize yourself. You're the only one on your side. They are not your friends, and they will lie in a heartbeat. And it's to bait you into a situation.
Oh yeah.
You got to remember, they do that all day.
So basically, the quieter you are, the better.
Yes. That's why one of your rights is to remain silent.
Yeah.
Don't give them evidence. I don't care if you're wrong or right. Don't sell yourself out.
And any words that you use will be used against you.
Most definitely.
Wow. Leonard, who you asking your question to?
I'm gonna ask my question to Goddess.
Okay, Goddess, are you available?
Yes, I am.
Leonard wants to ask you a question. What would you do if, Leonard?
If you created the world, what would be your biggest disappointment?
Wow.
That humanity does not respect one another, love and respect one another.
Would you change it? How would you change it? Would you burn everybody up, or what? What would you do?
No, I wouldn't. Those that decided that they did not want to respect those, didn't want to have respect for others, there will be like stepping stones, stepping areas, like 4 strikes you out type situations.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to a point where you were just totally doing Cain and Abel stuff, then you go into an island. And now I'm gonna let all y'all people all those that want to be hurt each other and kill each other, y'all can go there do that over there at that island. But there's always a chance for redemption.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be revisited, and we will see how those that wanted to try to redeem themselves and what we can do to redeem. Because I believe that people can redeem themselves. They can always ask for forgiveness and can change.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Good deal. Goddess, who you select?
Gosh, I kind of want to select Rico and you, Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Oh, no. You got to select somebody. One person.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Stay
Rico,
with
have
that
you
guy.
been selected there? Because Leonard's been selected already. Rico, have you been selected?
Yeah, Donald asked me a question.
Okay. What about what's his name? Shoot,
Badger?
who's available now? Badger's Badger.
Yeah, Badger's there.
Yeah.
Okay, Badger.
Friday. Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me hear. Badger, are you available?
Yeah. Can you not hear me?
No, that's not what I'm asking you, Badger. You stay with the program now. Goddess want to ask you a question. She want to ask you, what would you do if? Goddess?
If you were put in a situation where you needed to stand up for your community, but standing up for your community might harm a special project that you're doing because you got to go in front of the commission, the commissioners who that are doing some wrongful things, but you need to stand up for your community, as well as you got to go back in front of them and ask for assistance for your own personal project. What would you do?
That's a tough one because the community and stuff that I was a part of actually told me not to do that. I'd just be blunt with them. And I would also go in there with every law that would support and back up everything to let them know how serious I can be. And let them know that I'm not here to play games. I'm here for the community, and the community overrides anything that affects their pockets or whatever else they're more focused about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play games with those kinds of people. That's probably why my community won't let me talk to them.
Okay, good deal. Badger, who
Good
you
answer.
select?
See, I know Friday's here, right?
Yes. Friday.
Go to Friday.
Okay, hold on. Friday, are you available?
I'm available.
Okay. Badger want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Badger?
If God offered you one piece of knowledge / wisdom that could help humanity, what would you ask for?
Wow. Powerful question. Friday, you mighty quiet over there.
Okay, so the question is, what would my question be, or what piece of wisdom I would ask for if God was going to give me one to help humanity?
Yes, one piece. Yes.
All of humanity.
To help all of humanity. One piece or one wisdom. That's a great question. The wisdom I would ask for is how to connect to hearts. Because we don't have access to see people's hearts. And that's the place where most of the issues in humanity begin. So if I could have wisdom to know how to connect to hearts, because everybody's heart's going to be different. But if I have the wisdom to know how to connect, then I'll be able to connect to the variety of hearts there to help bring some type of understanding or compassion to all of humanity.
That's good. That's good. Okay. I believe you handled it. I believe you handled it. Okay. Friday, everybody has been asked. So it's open season. You can pick who you want to pick. Let me see. We got everybody that's here. We got our Badger, Leonard, Goddess, Rico, and on the phone lines we have Toussaint and Latoya. Who you select?
Well, since it's open season, can I put it on the floor?
Nope. Gotta pick one person. Nope. One person. You gotta pick one. Nope. You trying to change it? You trying to do the same thing? Gotta try to. You gotta stick with the program now.
Well, but everybody's been asked. So
they should go doing that stuff them little young game bangers started doing. Change up the whole rule.
Trying to change the whole rule. God almighty. Nope. You gotta pick one person. One person.
Okay. Toya with a T.
Toya with a T. Are you there? Toya, are you there? Toya fighting that mute button. I know she ain't scared. Toya with a T, you there? Pick somebody else.
Okay, Goddess, are you available?
Goddess, are you available?
I'm available. You little young guy banger.
Friday wanna ask you a question. What would you do if Friday?
What would you do if you were provided information that had not been yet released to the public, that in 3 days' time, all the food that was going to be available to the world was going to only be from a 3D print machine? What would you do with that information?
Tell everybody within my circle first. And then I would tell some outreach communities so they can be able to get things for others to assist. And then I would spread it on the third day, so people on the second day, so everybody will get a chance to, get something for their families.
Wow, that's good. That's good. We're asking some very interesting questions. Goddess, who do you select?
I'm going to select, I guess, can I not select you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead and start your positioning.
Okay. Raheen, I'm talking to myself. Yes. Are you available? Yes, I'm available. Goddess want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Goddess?
What would you do if you had to make a decision on dealing with, we always talk about the church, right? So we're dealing with the church and going back to the original guidelines of what the church realms are. And they want you to work with the LGBTQ community. What would you do?
Well, that's a very interesting question. My first thing is I have to know and understand that everybody has a soul. Everybody has a soul, and so if I'm placed in that position where I had to work with that particular community, though I'm not a part of that community, I know that they do have a soul, and I knew that God has given me that responsibility for a reason. Maybe it's maybe it's something in me that will reach them in a certain way. Not that I would want to even try and change them, because I also think that a person has the right to be who they are. Because if I go in and I try to change them from who they are, then if I change them, then who are they being? You know what I mean? They're not being themselves. They're not being true to themselves. My responsibility was to make sure that I bring them closer to Christ and give them Christ in the way that that He gave it to me to share it with them.
Okay,
Fair enough?
that's fair enough.
Okay. Rico, are you available?
Yep, I'm available.
Right. Look, Raheem want to ask you a question. What would you do if?
Okay.
Rico, what would you do? Okay. What would you do if you find yourself in a situation? You find yourself in a situation whereas on somebody where you walk into a situation and somebody think that you did something to or against them or their family or whatever, and they take the gun and they place the gun on your forehead, and they say to you, they say, look here, either I'm going to pull this trigger right now. I'm trying to picture this thing right, because I know what I'm trying to say, but it's stumbling. Either I'm gonna pull this trigger right now in your life, or you have to tell me reasons why I should not send you home right now. Give me a reason to not do this. What would you do?
It. I'm gonna give him reasons not to do it. I'm gonna do exactly what he told me, man. That's easy. That's all I gotta do to keep you from doing this. Man, matter of fact, let me get down on my knees and tell you why.
No, you got to convince him though, because his whole thing is to do that, because he's to the point is
I'm gonna do it as convincing as possible. I mean, I can't put myself in that mode. You know what I'm saying? Curtis might be able to break it down and get emotional. But you answered the question for me. He gave me an option to talk. He ain't just pulling the trigger, but he actually giving me an opportunity to speak my piece. I'm just gonna try to relate to this man's. I'm trying to touch his heart and hit his logic about why I can't be the right person. I'm gonna remember everything I was doing, where I was, and I'm gonna use every means that I can. Look, call this person, call that person, man. If you willing to let me show you that I didn't do this, then I can prove it to you. If you just be patient enough to call this person, call that person. I got people right here that don't know what's going on now, but if you just listen to what they got to say, they gonna verify where I was. Same thing if it was a policeman, you know, had me in a situation, want to accuse me of murder or child molestation or whatever. Look, man, let me sit down and express to you. You know what? I got arrested falsely that time. That didn't work. It didn't work. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I called the police. I need assistance. I tell you, man, go and talk to the children so they can tell you what just happened. Then all of a sudden you come out and tell me to put my hand behind my back, and she come out. I just want to be left alone. What? What?
Wow.
Did she just pull that stunt? So now here I am. I'm trying to express myself. You giving me an opportunity to talk, but you don't believe me. So what could I do even if that gunman didn't believe me? But I'm gonna try my best to express, you know, touch his heart to get him to think logically, you know, about this kind of decision.
Wow. And while you was talking, another excellent question came to my heart, but I can only ask one. So Rico, Toya with the T, are you available? Toya, are you there?
I think she en route to work.
Probably so. Yeah, probably can hear
that time.
Okay, Rico, who you select?
Well, I'm gonna go to Friday because I wanted to go back to Linda, but I'm gonna go to Friday on this one because I think she'll give me a good answer too. I know Donna would have gave me a good one.
Okay, good.
What would you do?
Hold on now. Let
you do your thing. Go ahead and do your thing, man.
Friday, are you available?
I'm available.
Okay. Rico want to ask you a question. What would you do if, Rico?
Plain and simple. What would you do if you were just riding one day minding your own business and you saw something in the sky that you know wasn't a plane, a helicopter, or anything else you ever seen in your life, and it sat there and did things that you never saw in your life, and you knew after you second guessed yourself in the process of watching, and you saying, well, you know what, I ain't dreaming, this is real. What would you do?
I would pull over so I don't crash. And then I think for me, my initial response, as I'm looking at it, trying to detect what's happening and make sense of it, I'm also going to be praying, because I'm just like, I don't want to be beamed up Scotty. So I don't know what they try to do, what it is, what it's about. Is this government? Is this some random mad scientist got something up in the air? I would go through that whole process. And once all of those reasonable deductions didn't hold up to anything, and the only logic was the initial illogic thing, like, oh, there are other beings out there. Okay. Then I would probably start to contemplate how I'm going to figure out to share this information of what I just experienced with people and not sound crazy. But there's no real way around that, because I'm going to sound crazy anyway. And hopefully my phone is charged so that I can record some of it to have some type of evidence or proof. I don't even know if my Zoom is going to have that much clarity to even show what it is that I'm seeing. But all of those steps will probably happen in that order. And hopefully by the time I remember, I have a recording source in my hand or next, I'll actually be able to record it before it's over. Because usually in those moments, it's the last thing that you think about, even though it's
Sit there with the phone like this, man. Oh my God. Oh my God. They recorded nothing.
Nothing.
All right. Friday, who you select?
Let me go to Tucson.
Toussaint, are you there? Toussaint?
Yeah.
I heard in your voice, brother. I heard you don't know what you're about to run into. But listen, Friday, want to ask you a question. What would you do if Friday?
Tucson, what would you do? I should probably have a question ready. So, what would you do if Tucson, if you in your normal routine of your day begin to realize that things and people, and I say things not like tables, but things like animals and other activities around you cease to exist, was no longer there. People are missing, animals are missing. What would you do?
Wow.
So people, not animals and stuff.
People, animal, and everything is missing.
Like,
everything is gone.
Their fixed furnitures are there, but people and birds and animals are missing.
Last living thing on earth.
In your normal routine of day. So you do see some people, but in your normal routine of day, those certain people are missing or no longer in you.
There, right? They just disappeared all of a
sudden. Gone.
I would realize that I missed the rapture. And I wasn't as saved as I thought I was. Of course. So I would prepare for now I done lost what it is, actually. The years of tribulation. I would prepare myself for the worst of times. Because we think it's bad now. I would prepare myself for the worst of the worst, and at the same time, I would pray that I would not accept the mark of the beast.
Wow. That's good. That's good. Toussaint, we got a few more minutes, brother. Who you select?
Leonard, you still there?
Yes. Leonard, are you available?
Leonard.
Yes.
Toussaint, want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Toussaint?
Leonard, what would you do if you had the opportunity and the power to change the heart of mankind? What would be the change? I don't know how to phrase that, but I think that you can grasp what I'm trying to say.
I would definitely encourage people to love one another as they would love themselves. The number one rule I've been studying and working with that here for the past few days: do unto others as you whether you look at it as do unto others as you have them do unto you, or if you look at it from different aspects. One of the things that I've been meditating on is 42 laws of Ma'at, and it's 42 negative confessions on those things, and all of them deal pretty much with respecting and loving others, loving them so much that you will not steal from them, you will not kill them, you will not be unjust to them, you will not cause pain, you will not lie, you will not speak evil, those types of things. It is to move mankind in that way.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Leonard, who you select?
I will select Rico.
Rico?
If you could live anywhere else, where would you
Hold
live?
on, man. Wait a minute now. Rico, are you available?
Yes, I'm available.
If you
Leonard
could live,
want to ask Leonard.
Hurry up, man. Come on, hurry up.
Leonard want to ask you a question. What would you do if?
What would you do? Where would you live if you could live anywhere else?
Where would I live if I could live anywhere else? Is that
I think I know the answer to that question.
Would that just be state-wise or country-wise?
Man, it don't matter. It's where you want to live.
Probably live in I say Hawaii or California. Hawaii or California.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Rico, who you select?
Oh, I gotta think of another question now. Let me see. I want to select, if you missed today's show and would like to see it in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Good answer.
On www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. I'm gonna throw this question out. I'm gonna throw one out to Goddess real quick. Goddess, are you still available?
I'm right here.
Come on the screen. I want to see your face when you answer the question.
Oh no.
Okay. Goddess, let me go. Are you available?
Yeah, I'm here.
Raheem want to ask you a question. What would you do if? Raheem? Okay, Goddess. You're hanging over a ledge. Over a ledge is mountain high, thousands of feet above the sky, above the ground. Okay. Your two arms are hanging over the edge. In one hand, you have total prosperity, all the money you can ever spend. In the other hand, you have total equality amongst all the people. You have to drop one. You have to let one go because both of them are so heavy. You need the other hand to pull it up. Which one are you gonna let go?
I have total equality over all humanity.
Yeah. There's total equality amongst all the people. Total equality. Everybody's, there's no racism. There's nothing. There's just equality. Everybody looking at each other on an equal plane. Everything is equal and just. That's in one hand. The other hand, you have total prosperity for yourself. all the money that you'll ever want to spend in your whole life for you, your family, your grandkids, your great grandkids, all the money that you let's say Oprah Winfrey money. In the other hand, you have to let one go in order to pull whatever you select up. What you gonna select?
I'm gonna select letting go of all the money.
Okay.
Because if I got total equality, I'm good. That means I'm equal financially.
Watch
and
this.
anything I need, and I feel so confident in myself that if I want to become more than equal, then I can always hustle and get more money myself.
But what if
your legs are stronger? Catch it with your feet.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna catch it with my mouth and my feet, but I'm holding on to equality. Hey, that's what the sisters for. See, that's that equal mindset right there. See, I told you we're gonna always come up with equality.
No. But what if now watch this, Rico? Let me ask you the same question. But what if you decide to let the money go? You have to live in a total world of you yourself poverty, where you don't have anything, man. You just totally without everything. You have nothing. If you decide to let the money drop,
man, would that be equal? I mean,
the equality will be for everybody else. It will not include you. You will have to live in a world of total poverty. Everybody else will have and will reap.
Man, I'm gonna make that real easy. I'm gonna get that money, and then I'm gonna make that money help other people the best way I can. I'm gonna multiply it. So I'm gonna use that money to make as much equality as I can. Because I ain't guaranteeing everybody equality so I can suffer. There's only so much sacrificing I'm gonna do, baby.
Wow, Friday, what do you say to that?
The inner peace in me says, let them have it because I can be content with or without. But the realistic me says, show me the money.
Lord.
We already living in equality, so we'll just figure it out. But I'm gonna figure it out with a roof over my head. Food I want to eat.
Man, can you imagine laying out on the street cold, your feet hanging out, everybody else walking around here free and happy, and ain't nobody still gave you nothing?
But really, but the inner pull in me would say to sacrifice it, because if it's that much equality, then they're gonna take care of me. So I'm really not gonna be poor.
No, you will have to take a vow of poverty.
You didn't say I couldn't receive help.
No, what if you're gonna live in poverty? What help you got? You living in poverty. You don't have anything.
Make you a monk. He trying to make you a monk. You know how they take them vows of celibacy and stuff. They don't never have sex. You know what I'm saying? He trying to make you a monk, man. You can't take nothing. Oh, y'all just go ahead and be happy. I just like seeing y'all happy.
We're gonna do poverty. No, Friday. We ain't going with poverty. That ain't part of the poverty. We ain't doing with them because that becomes a mental problem. Yeah,
we don't show me the money because we living in those times right now. So I might as well live good.
Lord, Leonard, what would you doing? We're going to get on out of here.
I had checked out, Raheem. What was the question?
You you got an opportunity. You're hanging over a ledge. Your arms are hanging over a ledge, Leonard. One in one hand, you have is total peace and everything. There's no racism and everything. All that's in one hand. Total equality in one hand. In your other hand, you have Oprah Winfrey money. You have all the money that you will ever dream about. Where your grandkids will always be able to live off the money that's in your other hand. You have to let one of them go, either the total equality or the money. You have to let one of them go. But if you let the money go, you have to live in total poverty for the rest of your life. Which one do you select?
Well, that ain't no question. I'm keeping the money. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. Why nobody want that total equality though? Why?
What? I don't necessarily strive to be equal to other people. I'm already equal. I already got all that. I need the money.
And then look, right here, you don't make it no more inviting, man. I mean,
you know what I'm saying, Rico? What make him think he's presenting such a great case for total equality? What the heck is that?
A lifetime of poverty for Oprah Winfrey, little money. No, give me some Mansa Musa money, so unlimited wealth and access.
And then I ain't even got to live around.
I'm just sitting over here, just wow.
And
see,
go ahead, man. If you got the unlimited wealth and access, you can help people then. But I mean, you gonna live in poverty and then not be able to receive any other things that you sacrifice to help other people. I ain't Jesus.
Wow. Go ahead, Badger. You say you shocked. Why you shocked, Badger?
Like I almost left the call because I'm sad. Like I'm just wow. You know, people are supposed to be Jesus-like and do their best to live as Jesus, and they're given an opportunity for racism to disappear and everything else, and yet they don't have enough trust in God to provide for them, even if they live in poverty.
You don't bet on God.
I don't bet on God either. I learned enough skills to be able to fish, hunt, and live off the land.
Go ahead.
So what would you? Which one would you let go, Badger? Which one would you let go?
Money. I ain't letting that greed virus get a hold of me. That's what it is. It's greed. It's sin.
I'll bury you real nice at the bottom of that cliff.
Sounds good to me as long as equality happens.
Could you not make could you not use that money to help?
How fast are you going to run out of that money paying all these?
No, you gotta still invest in it so you can keep making money. You keep making money so you can keep.
This has been a great.
Rico, it's gonna be him and Raheem laying at that bottom of the cliff. Bring a shovel, bro. Okay. I'll meet you there. Okay. We're gonna get this money.
I could care less.
Hey, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get
this. Even help him.
This right here. This gonna hold on, everybody. Hold on. This gonna take us another 2 hours. No.
We might have to make this a Monday topic.
I don't know, but I think y'all forget what Libya had. Everybody got housing. Gaddafi had. Everybody had housing. Everybody had income coming in. A special thing. If you got married, you got a special thing. So I'm going for the money.
Wow. We got to go. We got to go because as I said again, this conversation right here, it's a terrible place to end, but this conversation could take us 2 or 3 more hours. 2 or 3 more hours, easy.
I tried to end it, man. You just had to keep on going, man. I tried to end it, man. I gave you the perfect out, man. You just you want to keep on going.
Let me see. I'm saying, hold on. Publicist, read it, Rico.
He said, "Oh, I just thought of a good one, but I'm saving it for next week."
Lord. Boy, look here. We don't open up a can of worms. But listen, I want to thank everybody for. Hold on, let me do this. Friday, pray us out, sis.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Father God, we come before you at this time just to say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of another day that you have graced us with. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray for us to be able to go forth and make an impact in the lives of the people around us, dear Heavenly Father, so that a chain reaction can happen and they too can make an impact in the people in the lives of that they are a part of, Father. We thank you for the opportunity of this platform, dear Heavenly Father, to have conversations, real serious and fun, dear Heavenly Father, just to keep communication going, to build relationships, dear Heavenly Father, to have a place where we can come together, to have a voice and under no judgment. Lord, we just thank you for, I just pray for everybody as we're in different places experiencing you in a different way. Here it's ice and rain, and other places may be cold, and other places may be a little bit warmer, dear Heavenly Father. But whatever the conditions are, dear Heavenly Father, I pray for well-being and safety and health. And dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the listeners currently active right now and those that will listen and stumble upon this in days to come, that their lives be touched and blessed in a way that they are enticed to be a better person than who they are at that time. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
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 And don't take the money. Do not take the money. Don't take that money. Y'all better leave that money alone. That money don't belong to y'all. That money ain't yours. Listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your day. It is now 10:11. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other, and please be blessed.